Hi everyone, this is Jess with Luna Light Intuitive Tarot Channel. I'm just a bit devastated. I had almost your entire reading recorded and my camera just cut off. Then I went to record more and it cut off again. And while I thought I could do a part one and part two, I do want to do 3 parts, and I'm new at this, so I'm not really sure or knowledgeable about how to edit them together. Now I know that's something I need to learn quickly. But I considered doing a whole different spread or pulling new cards. For one, I like to see you to see me shuffle and pull the cards on camera, and for two, this honestly is not the most flattering reading for you air signs. But I decided to keep it because I thought if it came out, it's a message that needed to be heard. So I decided to keep it, and that just means that I've had a lot more time to look over your reading and gain some insights. Lucky you. Before we start, I just want to tell you that this reading is called Them versus You. It's helpful for any sort of conflict in a relationship, but usually this is a relationship that is ended or it's going through a period of no contact. Generally, I read it as a romantic one, but it doesn't have to be. I just apply it as it fits. If the reading doesn't fit at all, then don't try to make it. It's just not the reading for you. It can't resonate with everybody. And in this case, that's probably good because a lot of, like I said, it's just not the most flattering reading for an air sign. But don't get mad at me, because if this resonates with you, then that's your own behavior. Of course, energies are interchangeable, and if you're a cross watcher, it can be interchangeable as well. So if it sounds like it's flipped, flip it. It's that easy. All references to feminine, masculine refer to energy and not gender. Also, I read cards intuitively. So at times I might interpret a card or I might interpret a card in a less than traditional way. If that doesn't suit you, that's okay. It's not for everybody. If you prefer more traditional meanings attributed to the cards, then there are so many wonderful, intelligent, talented, and insightful readers here on YouTube that you can find that might be more your style. Also, if it doesn't resonate, it's just not your reading, you can check your moon, rising, or Venus sign to see if that matches you better. And I encourage you to do so. If it's not your story, it's not your story. But if you get anything from it, even just a portion of it, then it was for you. So if it resonates, let me know. If you're really angry at me because this is a message that came through, I get it. You can let me know in the comments below. As I get more viewers, I'd like to do a monthly video where I read the best comments and answer questions that you post below. I'm not doing any individual readings right now. I will let you know if I start doing those and how to have one of those done if you're interested. If this resonates with you, hit like, subscribe. Please, I'm trying to build my viewers here. It's just a little baby channel and I want it to grow. And I appreciate you all. And so let's go ahead and get into this reading. There's some themes that I notice right away. And here it is. It looks like there's infidelity here. And this side is you, and this side is them. So if this side is you, it's looking to me like you were the one that was cheating, was lying, was misrepresenting, betrayed or abandoned this person over here for whatever reason. If it's not with another person, think about maybe work or addiction issues, things that took you away from this relationship things that you put your energy into instead of nurturing this one. And if that was what was right for you, that's what was right for you. But this is where it's left the two of you. The reason I say, really, I'm talking about infidelity here is because I see kind of the King of Swords upright and King of Cups flipped up underneath him. The Moon, the Lovers reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, Hierophant reversed, and there's the Queen of Wands reversed, Three of Pentacles reversed. There's lots of fire over here. This person was angry. Angry. I mean, they're throwing fire at you. They might be right now wanting a little bit of sweet revenge. And I kind of can't blame them by the way that this looks, but it doesn't mean there's not anything positive here. And there's definitely lessons to learn. And that's what life is about. And that's what tarot is about, is to teach you lessons. It's to help you introspect and think of things from different perceptions, to see a point of view that you couldn't see before, that you were blinded to. It helps you dive deeper to access your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, and helps you plan and take steps to be more who you want to be, or how to navigate a situation, how to tell a different story. These cards are based on you if you resonate. So changing the outcome, it rests with you, and you have the power to do that. You have free will. So if it resonates, I hope that it gives you some messages that might be helpful for you in your journey, or at least help you maybe understand the perspective of the other person. And I hope it brings even if it's not the most flattering story right now, all of us have unflattering stories, and you're not being singled out. It's not saying you're a bad person. It's saying that maybe the way you behaved in this relationship wasn't your best. But we all learn this way, unfortunately. We learn from being on either side of it. So, with that being said, let's look at the cards more individually. So here is your person here. And the first three cards, I'm trying to figure out kind of who this person is, right? So, the first card is the Eight of Cups. So, I think, air signs, I think that your person could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but this person is a person that feels exploited, withdrawn, maybe depleted, walking away from something that was unfulfilling. And because we're talking about your relationship, I'm thinking that's something about this relationship wasn't fulfilling to them. I mean, they gave all these 5 cups here to this relationship. That's their emotions, that's their feelings, that's their love. And it looks like they're just kind of wasted. They have 3 left, so they're just going to go ahead and walk away into something new. And they know it's challenging. You can see that it's challenging, but they're really optimistic. Really optimistic. The sun is coming up over the moon. They're just a person that's kind of going through the hard part of a beautiful journey. They just haven't gotten up the mountain yet. They're facing that. This is the Hanged Man reverse. And the Hanged Man reverse, this looks so much more happy and joyful and comfortable reversed, because instead of being hanging upside down, reversed, the Hangman is standing up, and he's so balancing here on this branch, being supported by this big pillar, this big tree trunk. He looks like he's dancing, he's dancing. He has this halo around his head. He's enlightened, right? And so I think that they're kind of on the upward end of a really difficult lesson. They're in recovery. They've been forced to be more introspective and look at themselves and the cycles that they've been in, and kind of work to change those kinds of cycles by evaluating how they react, how they behave, the thoughts they think, changing their perspective. Law of attraction stuff. They may, to you, they may have seemed like maybe a more depressed or sad or angry person. But that's not who they are, and that's not who they're becoming. They're kind of changing their outlook and their perspective on life. Eight of Wands, it's usually pretty positive. It's fire, it's action, and it's just flying in, right? They're busy, maybe a good busy, right? They're kind of distracted from matters of love. They're aligning, they're manifesting some really long-winded dreams, and there was a lot of things blocking it, particularly this cycle and this relationship that looks a bit toxic to me. But a destined relationship that had to happen for this lesson to be learned. So they're finally, if they are a water sign, there's a lot of cups here, so I'm feeling like they might be, or they have a lot of water energy, in their chart. They're not usually very fiery or gung-ho. They're usually so introspective. They live in this little shell, right? So, when they've gone through this introspection and this self-evaluation, it turns out they have a lot of passions underneath, and they're ready to start pursuing those. And they're kind of in a place now where they're more comfortable being alone and taking these kinds of risks, which is really not how they've presented previously. I mean, whatever happened here may have somehow prompted this growth. Maybe your support encouraged them, or more likely the painful lessons in this relationship kind of made it impossible for them to stay put here. It was just a lesson they don't want to learn again. And that sounds bad, but I mean, it wouldn't have hurt them this badly and prompted this much change if they didn't have really strong feelings for you. With these wands flying in kind of toward you over here, which I'll show you in a minute, it's the King of Swords. I also think that maybe this person's pretty angry. Like I said, they're really pissed off. This is fire coming in, and maybe they're ready for some justice the way they see fit, which isn't really how the universe works, but it sure does make us feel better when people that hurt us get to feel hurt. And right now, they don't feel like you care or know how badly you hurt them. And that's just another hurt on top of it, right? So that's how I'm seeing them. Here's you, the King of Swords. The King of Swords. That's your card. This is air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. That's I usually think of it as a Gemini, but it can be any air sign. Think about air, wind. Think about all the wonderful things that wind does. It brings in the weather and takes it out. It brings about different changes in climate. It brings rain in, it brings rain out. And at its worst, it creates a tornado, that just sucks things up and spits them back out, just destroys them. And if that is a water sign, wind and water make a hurricane. And that's a pretty volatile relationship. But as a person, the King of Swords is intelligent. He's authoritative, People pay attention. People like you. You're the center of the room. And you're comfortable around people. You know how to work people. You're a schmoozer. You're not particularly warm, not so caring or sympathetic or nurturing. That doesn't mean you're cold. It just means you're more detached from your emotions. And that's pretty good trait to have in some situations, but in a relationship with a more sensitive person, that's a difficult thing to navigate. Yeah. Likely you're more of the person that gives nice gifts or communicates in beautiful words, right? The King of Swords is all about communication and truth. You're direct. It has that sort of truth there. You're intimidating because you call things like you see them. You don't really care what other people think about you because you're not that connected emotionally. So, and the next card is a Four of Pentacles. And y'all, I just think this guy's creepy. I mean, I know it's not really that scary of a card. It's just, he looks so creepy. He's sitting down, but to me, it always looks like he's just like crouching down like a troll. And it doesn't always have a negative connotation either. But here, he's saving, he's conserving, he has kind of a lack mindset. He's kind of protecting himself. So this is a person that plans for the worst. And this is kind of foreshadowing what I'm seeing in the other cards here, which we'll get to, but you're protecting yourself. You're kind of fixated on yourself and your needs and your feelings and your fears, and you want to be in complete control. Right? So you want to predict an outcome and you want to have complete control, and you don't want to lose anything in this. So you're planning ahead and you're manipulating situations so that you can control how this relationship here is going to end, right? Because if they were going to end it with you, you weren't going to be the one that was sad and lonely, not you. I don't know why you're just clinging to these so desperately. What were you afraid of losing? It kind of shows a lack of flow, a lack of reciprocity. Is your self-worth kind of tied up in material things, appearances, or what other people think about you? How you're viewed? Is it how maybe your more critical self views you? Do you not just want to accept some of those thoughts? You're really possessive. You're not sharing much. And I if you're emotionally detached, I wonder how you view people in relationships. Do you kind of view them as having them being a possession to you, or as some, expectation of loyalty to you? Just not, it's just, it's inflexible. It's just kind of stuck. And here's why I think that you're manipulating this situation, or that you did. And I think even though you look really confident, that maybe you lack some confidence because you don't want to be alone. You got yourself into a new relationship before this other one ended. You wanted to set yourself up nicely so that you could make an exit and not have to spend any time alone. You don't want to go without love. So you hear the full reversed. He's a fixed number. He's free to travel at will, and he's spontaneous. It- Upright, he says, I'm light, therefore I travel light, right? But in reverse, he's more of a trickster, and he lacks some moral compass. Um, but he's going to endure some punishment for his ignorance, right? In Italian, he's il matto, the mad one, childish. There might be addiction issues here. Sometimes the full reversed indicates some addiction. For me, that's just for some people. It's not for everyone. He believes it's not I who create myself, rather I happen to myself. And so that relieves him of taking accountability. If he believes that life just puts you where it's supposed to be and that your thoughts, actions don't hold any bearing on your life and the lives of others, then you are ignorant. That's not how it works. You don't just happen to yourself. You make decisions, and there are consequences for your decisions, good and bad. And this is what you did. You decided to go with this lady here. And man, the Queen of Wands upright is just so attractive. I think this is a new person. I think this is someone you were seeing before you ended the other relationship. I think both of them might have found out, because reversed, the Queen of Wands is something different. And either out of anger for you, or because she's just not who you thought she was, because you move in swift, right? Your relationships get hot and heavy almost immediately, right? You lock it in. You love love. You love passion. You love excitement. You can't sit still. And so she is exciting. And she's magical. I mean, she has this little black cat here, and she has a wand, and she's creative and successful. Maybe she's an artist. But she often, reverse, symbolizes the other woman. She's demanding, pushy, self-righteous. She's jealous, catty, manipulative, spiteful, and vengeful. She's a liar. You met your match here. If the Queen of Wands is you here in reverse, for some of you, if it's you, you could be being nosy or a little overbearing. Maybe there's some distrust, and y'all are all up in each other's business, right? That's what happens when a relationship starts that way, and you can't trust. You can't trust. You're just watching each other and harassing each other and coming up with terrible scenarios and making everything fit into what you've decided, right? But if she's you, learn how to hold space for others. This is often just a lesson for not taking time to heal and do the work necessary in yourself before jumping to the next thing, right? If you don't let yourself have time to feel and spend time with yourself, you're not learning the lesson. You just keep going in the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, man, over and over, infinity. So that's what I see for you. And I did warn you that it's not the most flattering reading for whoever you or this person is, if it's reversed. I also usually give a warning about my language, and I did not do that. I do cuss. I try not to cuss too much, but it'll come out. That's just my personality, and that's okay. If you don't like it, you can find someone else. But if I didn't give that warning, I'm giving that warning now. And so this person kind of viewed the relationship as such. Initially, here's the Ace of Wands. Man, y'all started hot and heavy. And I can see that. You start this relationship that way. It's probably a pattern. Y'all probably had so much fun together. It was fun. It was exciting. You're trying new things. It was just the beginning of a whole new journey. And you knew that it was significant. And it was, even though it didn't end the way y'all probably expected. And for certain, this person didn't expect. It did start exciting and hot. Man, it was hot. You know, and this person, the Page of Cups, offers love, right? New love and passion. The Page of Cups is gentle and sentimental, creative, romantic, water sign usually. So I keep feeling that's what it is with all of these cups. It doesn't have to be, though. And then the Knight of Wands. I mean, are you this Knight of Wands? Like, look at you coming in. You know, you're kind of youthful and fun and carefree. And like you're just like swooping in and you're on fire. Man, you're on fire. You're attractive. You're strong. You're fast. You're riding. I mean, very attractive. But, you know, cups don't move as fast as wands at all. And cups are more about intuition and emotion and the inner self, and wands about action and fire and manifesting. And fire and water don't go very well together because if you dip your wand into this cup, it goes out, right? Yeah. Y'all are just so different. But you're also, I mean, you're a knight, so knights are like young players. They come and go, right? They come into battle, they please the women, and they go out and they leave. Also, here, I mean, I know this is on their side, but I think this is their perception of this relationship and your role in it. And I have to laugh a little bit. Like over here, you're the King of Swords, and you've got the Queen of Wands reversed over there. But the Knight of Wands, if you're the Knight of Wands, and the person over here is reversed Queen of Wands, I don't know. I guess you thought you were a king when you went in that way, but you're not, you can't have a queen yet. You have to hone your skills more. You have to become more mature and stable before a queen's gonna let you run the whole kingdom. So that's kind of how I see that, with the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands together for this person. It's usually can signify like a really big move, a significant life change, that they've gone through the trials and emotion from the relationships, like volatility and this painful end, to fuel creativity. Wands are about creation and manifesting and action. So on your side, okay, you and your perception in this relationship, this is significant to me that the King of Swords is upright and the King of Cups is reversed above each other, like this mirror image, right? Because I feel like there is some mirroring and projection here, and there's you, and there's the other person here with the cups, right? The King of Cups, water sign, usually a Pisces. I think that my video might cut off soon again, and if that's the case, I'm gonna have to download a part 2. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. So the King of Cups reversed, though I really feel it's kind of confirming that you're dealing with a water sign or someone with a lot of water in their chart, but again, it does not have to be. It's an emotionally immature person. If you could look at yourself honestly and see the traits of this King in reverse, which are controlling, manipulative, cheating, it's just not flattering. And this may not be who you are or who you want to be, but maybe just specific to this relationship. It can also indicate some alcohol use for some of you, not all of you. If you looked at yourself honestly, like I said, you could change these traits. It takes work. I stress this because the other 2 cards are major arcana here, and major arcana really are not flexible like these cards are. They're part of the full journey. They're part of fool's journey. They're part of life's journey, and we all go through them. And so it's not something you can avoid forever. Like, you can keep changing the things before it to try to put it off, but you won't avoid it forever.